It's time for veterans to stand up and come together and demand that our elected leaders that work for us do what is best for our country, and that is to follow the Constitution. And so we started Bring Our Troops Home.
Anybody who joins as of October 13th has never known a time that we weren't in the current conflict that we're in. And it's really time for Congress to stand up and either declare war or get out of war.
Congress needs to end their dated authorization of use of military force. It was something that was made in 2002, and it's really not suited for the challenges we face today.
I wouldn't consider myself anti-war at all. I joined the Marine Corps during a time of war to serve in a war, but I believe in constitutional war.
What we can do is to support the politicians that have the drive and the willpower to get us out of these conflicts.
I think it's really important for veterans to learn to use their voice. We are the people that have the experience that the politicians need to listen to understand what the issues here. We are the people that are most closely affected by this problem.
It's awesome to see not just myself, not just a few other veterans I know, but an entire community of veterans coming together in support of each other and in support of bringing our brothers and sisters home.
Our soldiers have fought as well and as valiantly as any generation this country's produced. Our senior military leadership at the four-star level and at the defense establishment level have absolutely failed us.
Nobody over there is dying in vain. They're dying in the service of their country. Our leadership has not put together a policy or a strategy that justifies that sacrifice.
We cannot be the world's police all the time. We can't be everywhere to handle things. I really think it's more important for our troops to be here protecting our homeland.
The loss of the focus and the ability to train has significant potential consequences for our national security.
We want our military to be strong, but we don't need to have them spread so thin that we're not operationally ready to defend ourselves in the case that we need to.
Before you ever put boots on the ground and put men and women in harm's way, you have to identify what you want the outcome to be. And I think that it's important for our elected leaders to understand the importance of a strategy and an objective, and identifying both before making a decision.
I'm for troops coming home, but I'm also for a fact-based analysis on how we come home, because I don't want the oil fields and other resources to be captured by the bad guy so they can reconstitute themselves and cause harm.
This is about making America safer and stronger. Ending these wars is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength.
What we haven't been able to do in 18 years, the question is, what can we do over the next decade that's going to be any different?
Well, as citizens, we need to get with our legislators and our officials to make them understand that, these are our sons and daughters and fathers and mothers fighting these wars. And for what? If there's no end game, we need to convince them to bring our troops home.
I'm going to return to my state and talk to my state delegates and demand that they use the sample legislation that Pat McGeehan has put together, that the state legislature pass a Protect the Guard Act.
The bill just simply states that our state's National Guard units will not be deployed overseas into combat zones in foreign lands without an official declaration of war from the U.S. Congress.
When it comes down to this issue of Pat McGeehan's bill that we're currently looking at, that's a bipartisan effort.
Without congressional authorizations, we're actually wasting not just U.S. taxpayer dollars. But the biggest problem that I have with all of this is the cost to our humanity.
We need to have a Vet First initiative is also an America First initiative. We're losing over 10,000 lives a year on U.S. soil.
If we're gonna do these wars for 18, 19 years, we have an equally important responsibility to take care of our service members and family members when they come home.
I believe it is time to get out of Afghanistan and bring our troops home.
So to make a difference, it's pretty simple. You just contact your representatives and voice your opinion to them. If they're not willing to listen, then you vote against them.